Here's what I did and what I spent over a weekend in Tampa and St. Pete. My goal is to paint a realistic picture for a quick trip with lasting memories. This was 3 p.m. Saturday to 3 p.m. Monday over Memorial Day weekend. First stop was this market at the St. Pete Pier. Parking was $4 for 2 hours. Arad was one of the best street performers I've ever seen. Check out the talent.
Innocent stolen, the force of feet. Performer, the pleasure, the present perception will set us free.
His Instagram is included in the description. So this is where you wind up. This kind of funky looking building that puts you on the edge of, you guessed it, Tampa Bay. Already sweating, so stopped at one of the options at the end of the pier, the Driftwood Cafe, and that's not the last ice cream you'll see. $6.35 for this cup. You get to catch a lot of St. Pete in the distance and more music on the way out. It's hard to find yourself too far from the water at any point. Next up was Ybor City. Very different vibes at 5 p.m. in the afternoon versus a few hours later at night. The roots of this neighborhood helped establish Tampa's moniker of Cigar City. And in 2008, 7th Avenue was named one of the top 10 streets in all of America. It's definitely a spot worth a stroll. The cigar and bar options are endless, so naturally, we ended up in Society Wine Bar. Good wine, but I can't tell the difference between $7 and $700, and the cheese board hit as well, spent $56.99 there. But the best food of the day was at Streetlight Tacos. This section of town seems pretty isolated, but who cares? The brisket tacos were delicious. $71.47 for a later dinner at Streetlight. Ended the night with a little walk along the water in a moderately lit location. That didn't go in, surprisingly. Quench lived up to the name for Sunday breakfast, $12.72 here, before heading over to Armature Works, a well-established food hall known for busy afternoon crowds, quiet at 9 a.m. aside from the coffee joint. But we're here for something else. Outdoor yoga, which just became hot yoga in the 90-degree sun. Kodawari Studio put together a really good class for a sizable crowd. That was free, but parking was $10.
Hand comes down inside.
Nestled on the Hillsborough River with access to downtown Tampa, Armature Works puts you right on the Riverwalk with plenty of active individuals and spots to stop and observe along the way. Like I said, it's an easy area to be active. Another day, another market. Bought a juice after being given the equivalent in samples. It was $12, but kinda like a 2-for-1 deal. Considered food, but it was just too hot to eat sizzling street empanadas. So Chuck Lager was right around the corner in the West Shore Marina area, and there's a reason no one is sitting outside. PSA, drink water when in Florida, and when not there too. The Poke Bowl was super solid in $28.65. Had to get in a few hours of pool time, and here's about 4 seconds of that. Off to Davis Island for pre-dinner drinks at the awesome Bouchette. $6 spritzes during their daily happy hour. And check this out, they serve them out of their tiny European-influenced wine window, which of course I didn't capture live. But a great deal, great drinks, 2 rounds cost $29.50 with tip. A steal. So Bouchette is attached to Ogi, which tries to give off these Italian alley vibes, but again, not eating outside. You don't see it here, but the crowd really picked up around 6 p.m. My shrimp frivollo was definitely good, but this Palermo chicken may have been the best piece of chicken I've ever eaten. $77.18 here. Didn't need more food, but Sparkman Wharf has those options available if you'd like. More than anything, just good vibes being out and about as the sun goes down a bit. We walked around catching their famous trolley, Amalie Arena, some architecture being the highlights of this downtown area, before the true highlight of a $12.11 brown butter praline ice cream sandwich from Chill Bros. Caught some of the sunset on the way home, and not quite sunrise, but ready to attack our final day. Couple options here in this little nook on the way to St. Pete on Gandy Boulevard. We went with Patrona Coastal Cafe, which you get to after taking this winding path. but it's a really cool locale and spot to enjoy breakfast, which we did, mostly. Iced coconut matcha, acai cup, avocado toast, iced banana latte. Wait, acai in a cup? Yes, that's how it's listed, but we found it incredibly impractical, so transitioned it to a plate that is not chocolate cake. $62.22 with tip. Next time we'll try the next door getaway cafe. Okay, back in the St. Pete area, we chose Lido Beach as a hangout spot. Parking was $12 for 3 hours. You're immediately hit with white fluffy sand, modest water temperature, and competing music blaring from dozens of nearby speakers. Always enjoy a little beach walk, and this one was disruptive. These are black skimmers, and honestly not the type of bird you expect to come across. They are a protected species and have their own little private area. At any given moment, there are hundreds chilling and are pretty fascinating. I was also fascinated by the fishing taking place in the middle of all the action, but I guess I shouldn't be. The turnaround point was the Don Caesar Hotel, and the pit stop after the beach was my first stop at Cava. What a revelation. I'm impressed even for a $44 lunch. No acai cups here. And that's exactly 48 hours, $484.11 spent in Tampa, leaving how we came in.